5.
Mm.
Let me fix the dislike.
I mean, I feel like it was pretty perfect the way it was. Yeah. Beautiful.
Camera settings. There we go. And good.
Perfect.
Oop. Britus, can you make the dislike request flash like bright orange and green? I bet I could.
Probably good. You can probably
I
put a GIF
know.
in there.
Yeah, Heath has a little animation that pops up when people subscribe. I'm assuming it's like a plug and play thing because it's a zombie, and he doesn't have anything to do with zombies.
Yes.
I guess murder basement. Maybe the zombie is the murdered party of the Hobby Time in the murder basement.
Mm-hmm. That sounds true. Oh yeah, and then every time someone dislikes, we'll have a crazy animation.
Yeah.
Like basically the stream will stop for like 5 minutes.
Yes. That would be so much fun. Because yeah, everyone pops in. Why dislike? Oh, okay, and then they do it, and then the stream just goes wild.
That'd be pretty good. Joe Dracos, I punish with likes.
No!
Yeah, you're gonna be banned.
Yeah, get the ban hammer ready.
Already banned. And is shadow banned. Even worse.
Mm-hmm.
TK Studio Prince, who thumbed up? That's dirty. Well, I think I know who did it. I have a feeling.
Keep forgetting to do it, so I'm doing it right now. I'm putting some texture paste over part of the Necron crystal he's standing on, because I'm not going with crystals on my bases.
Mm-hmm. Crystal. Finishing up EOB complete.
Yeah.
Got a lot this week. I think there was something like 42.
Yeah, there was.
A lot.
The answer to life, the universe, and everything. I remember when Deep Thought gives the answer, and then everyone's like, "Well, what the hell?" And then Deep Thought's like, "Well, it'd probably make more sense if I knew the question, but I don't know the question. All I know is the answer is 42."
Mm-hmm. Blue Bot Man, I'm thumbing you because I hate y'all. JK, I love y'all.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a good thumbing.
In more ways than one.
Yeah. Hey, dog. My dog just came in the room.
You know what that means.
Mm-hmm. AJ, what's up, guys? TK Studio Prince, remember, folks, show your support and hit the thumbs down. We so love them thumbs down. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe to join us. You know you want to. We also have a Discord and Patreon.
That's all factual.
Mm-hmm. Everything is satisfactual. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Oh my. This movie, racist.
I'm going to get my tracking chip on Sunday.
Ooh.
Getting that installed.
What's a tracking? Oh, nice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I mean, really, the chip is just really a formality. They already could track you perfectly.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I carry a cell phone with me at all times. But, this would be, one for the ages.
Yeah.
This is a lifetime tracker.
Right in the forehead is what I've heard.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it's one of those. It's like a gun and it has like 4 shots in it that they just put right into your forehead.
Mm-hmm. And weirdly, like a weird reptilian creature administers all of the shots.
Of course.
Joe Jacobs, Patreon sucks because I am poor and can't get access. That is true. Yeah, you're really missing out.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you're just going to have to deal with only 3 videos a week and 6 streams.
I know. And how are you going to even live with yourself? Jeez.
Take it, City Prince. Time to carry on painting those poxwalkers. Yeah. Dog.
Good old dogs.
I'm gonna finish putting on all of the glowy energy effects,
Mm-hmm.
and then it'll be pretty much done. Well, the whole base, but
And the whole rest of the whole thing.
yeah.
But, you know, besides that.
Blue Bob Man, I'm blaming you all for me procrastinating painting my models. Well, why don't you paint right
What?
now?
Yeah, do it right now. I don't get it.
TS Prince posted a pic on Discord of the first unit skin. I've been hearing about these poxwalkers for so long. I can't wait to finally see them. How am I going to do the little...
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how well did I glue on the cape? Oh, not too well. It came right off. Good. Because now I'm gonna have a much easier time getting to the the bottom of his sword.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure in terms of combat this is effective, having the big old top bit and then like a little extra sword at the bottom.
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
James Cameron Clark, the delicious irony of the people who won't get the vaccine because of tracking, but read that on an app they know everyone that knows everything about you on a device with your face prints filled with mics and cameras.
Exactly.
The other day...
That's why I felt like you might as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Might as well get the second tracking chip. The permanent one.
Mm. I know one of the big selling features of the new iPhones and some of the newer cameras is the face recognition.
Mm-hmm.
And I was filming a time lapse the other day, and it was the camera was in a really awkward spot, and so I just kind of reached my hand up to the phone, and I used my thumb to unlock it, and I thought this would be a nightmare if I had to get my face to the phone.
Mm-hmm.
So take that, Tim Cook.
Yeah, there is a, like, I don't know, there's, I guess there isn't much benefit of the Face ID because your fingies are on the phone already.
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well just use them.
Yeah,
But it is pretty sick. You just look and it opens.
it is kind of
It's
neat.
magic. I think it should have both.
I don't know if it's a selling feature, but it is kind of neat.
Mm-hmm. I think it should have both.
Yeah.
For no extra money. If anything, cheaper.
Yeah.
And that's just how it's going to be. Obviously.
Joe Dracos, I've been assembling guard models for the last 3 days. Got 2 semi-magnetized Bane Blades, 4 Lehman Russes, and modified 30 Krieg Guardsmen. Don't ask me where I got them. To look like World War I British soldiers. Neat.
I know when we do EOB Complete, sometimes those models don't look like they are 100% real to some people.
Limbo the Dude, working on some homework for theater. Glad I get to listen to y'all while I do it. Nice.
What are you doing? Painting a flat?
Learning a monologue.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah, you know what that is.
Nice. Tabletop Trooper. There's a little echo. You're a little echo.
Yeah, I think it's me. I think it's where I am. I'm in a slightly different location, but not that slightly. This room has a slight echo.
You're also surrounded by tin
I'll-
walls, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'll turn off the echo. Don't worry. Mm-hmm.
Joe Dragos. TK Series, how many models? Joe Dragos, too many to assemble at once. Been gathering them for the last 6 months. James Cameron Clark. I like the people at work wondering why they can't pay with their phone before realizing that their mask is blocking their phone's face recognition. Yep. It's another good point.
Yeah, the masks.
Or what if you're just too ugly for the face recognition? I don't think that can happen.
No, I think it scans your ugly face and it knows that you're ugly. It sends it to Apple though that you're ugly.
Yeah. Yeah, for like, 95% of situations, Face ID would be fine. But there are a few.
All those situations I just named.
Yeah.
I would say. Mm-hmm.
Some very valid points.
Thank you.
Given in the original language of Eons of Battle.
Mm-hmm.
In our mother tongue.
Well, on the Patreon there is going to be some maybe some behind the scenes of this last video in our mother tongue.
It's going to be a treat. Everybody, you're going to be missing out if you're not a patron.
And then I have another idea of something I want to do with it, but I can't do it this week, or I can't do it today and tomorrow. But after that, oh my god, I have some fun ideas. So let's just say I have a lot of burps. A lot of burps recorded. I mean, all of the streams exist too.
Yeah.
We could cut together every single burp we've ever done.
And it wouldn't even take that much work either, would it?
No, it would take no work. What we should do is we should write some software.
Yeah.
To determine what a burp is and what it isn't.
Oh, that'd be amazing. God, think about it. We would have hours of burps.
Mm-hmm. Imagine. It's just all cut together perfectly.
Are there any hackers in the chat who can get this going?
Mm-hmm. I guess it depends on, because I was thinking like maybe if the burp is really loud, you can just look for peaks, but they're not always loud.
Yeah. Takamoto, it doesn't matter if one's ugly or not. Our hobbies love us. At least that's what I tell myself while avoiding all mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
GeForce Member 45, work on the Warhound progresses nicely. Probably will have him done soon.
Ooh.
That is craziness. James Cameron Clark, I thought your mother tongue was loud belching. Oh, it's all forms of belching. To really, sometimes the subtler effects really help get the point across.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And not everybody understands the fine art of belching like we do.
Yeah, it's a lost art. This new generation, it's kind of not catching with them as much.
Yeah, and it's honestly very disappointing.
It's becoming a lost art.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're watching our culture just go away right before our eyes. Very, very sad. The Psychomancer is a cool model.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
You saw the new orc thingy? I didn't look at the orc boy or... Mm-hmm. It's not an orc boy. It's like an orc...
Mm-hmm. I'm excited to see how this fits into everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because, would it fit in with my Beach Boys?
if you did some kit bashing, maybe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Did some work.
I think they need to get a they need to get like a Terrell Whitlatch or someone who really knows anatomy. Because it does kind of look like they took an orc form and just applied parts to it. It's not
Yeah.
the muscles are all in kind of the right spot, but it doesn't look very clever.
No.
It doesn't look like a beautiful, sculpture.
Mm-hmm. No.
I bet they look great in a group of 10, though, which is probably would have looked much more impressive than just the one guy with like a sword.
Yeah. I like to think they only modeled one. So just one is done.
Or they finally, Games Workshop finally goes full on monopose, and there's just that one guy, and you can just buy 100 of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Something about the dude worked on my Death Guard yesterday and gave one of the old poorly painted models new life with a slightly lesser poor paint job. That is the circle of life. Mm-hmm. And one day, after more and more and more slightly less bad paint jobs, eventually it'll be golden demon winning.
Mm-hmm.
Elrondorio, life is depressing. Had to box up nearly all of my Games Workshop and armor kits and put them in storage just so I can move around in the stinky flats. What are armor kits? Like, do you have like suits of medieval armor laying around?
Yeah.
Because that's what I love. Just the idea of like a tiny little like little apartment, but you have like 9 suits of armor.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that was a good one.
That was a good one.
Mm-hmm. Little throw up in there too.
Nicholas Cobb, Beast Snagga Boys. Pretty cool. So they're Snagga Boy. They're not boys, they're Snagga Boys.
Yeah, they are different. Dr. Jerkle, maybe somebody could rewatch all the streams and write down the time codes for all the burps, belches, coughs, etc. Not me, though. I'm not suffering through all that again.
Yeah. Somebody get right on that.
Yeah.
James Cameron Clark. The new Slanesh stuff looks amazing, though. How on earth, its stuff comes out so fast and so constant. How is anyone meant to keep up? I mean, I guess the idea is maybe 10 kits go by that you don't care about a lot, but the 11th is you instantly put in the credit card.
Right. I mean, Lord Croak.
Yeah, Lord Croak. Although didn't Games Workshop, I didn't read it yet, but I saw on their community, apparently they're not going to have anything available to pre-order for a month.
I thought you were going to say this year.
I mean, that's what it should be, honestly. I saw there's a little bit of a good old fashioned GW, not conspiracy, but just a big uproar about the apparently they're not making more of the adventure box, the skeleton adventure box.
I don't know.
City of the damned
Cursed City?
Yeah, apparently they're not making more of it.
Mm-hmm.
I find it hard to believe. I bet they don't have more of it. And that currently they may not have a good way to make more of it. Because I heard that they may not be able to go through China to get all their paper stuff built. Apparently because of Brexit. I still don't quite understand. So Brexit means that they're actually going to break away and then just drift off into the ocean, right? They're going to break away.
Yes. Yeah, and so right now they're moving it. They're moving the whole island.
Yeah, they're taking jackhammers and just cutting a line. They're taking circular saws and just cutting straight through the earth.
Yeah, exactly. And they have to put a propeller on it so they can move it. It's a whole thing. It's rather expensive. It's really, really hard.
Don't call me Shirley. J, fuck, marry, kill, Tau, Gun Gun, or Mr. House? Mr. House, like Mr. House MD? Or Mr. House like Mr. House from Fallout, New Vegas. I'm going to guess that one. This is a very weird list. I mean, Mr. House has most of the resources and all of the wasteland, so I'd probably marry Mr. House. And then definitely fuck the Gungas. And then kill the Tau. This was an easy. Yeah, that was easy.
Amazing.
There's a great moment in the making of the Phantom Menace documentary where George Lucas calls Gun Guns the Goongas, and so I'm always going to say the Goongas from now on.
It's canon.
It is canon because I have a clip of George Lucas saying Goongas.
Mm-hmm.
He in that clip he's talking to Steven Spielberg, and he calls them the Goongas. God, it's one of my favorite moments like that has ever happened on Earth. Is like Steven Spielberg showed up to hang out with George, and so they go around to like the back of the garage, and their full size model of the battle droid, its arm has fallen off. And so he picks up the arm and he tries to put it back on, but it just falls off again. So he just hands it to Steven Spielberg.
Mm-hmm. Good old that.
Yeah.
It's a wild world we live in.
It is. TK Series Prince. Brexit means that the UK is fracked.
Mm.
Dr. Jogel. Brexit is extremely important. So is lunch and dinner. But Brexit is the most important meal.
Alexis Xcore 93. Then all the Britons make one big hard jump at the same time. Exactly.
Trash Bandit. I'm a Tau player, and that hurts. The Tau. Don't come and show you. R2-D2 falling over is pretty great. It is pretty great. Flip with the dude. My friend who recently got her Tyranid still hasn't decided on a paint scheme, and I'm trying to help her pick a scheme. She doesn't care for the main Tyranid theme. Okay, so purple and white. I mean, then you could go with Kraken, which I believe is red and white, or you can do Behemoth, which is red and blue.
I think Behemoth is a winner for me.
But Behemoth is pretty sweet. Mm-hmm. There's also some fun things people have done online, like the I think they're called like the coconut crab Tyranid, that are kind of like a modeled cream and brown. And then of course tons of people have done like a neon Tyranid, which are also pretty sweet.
Neon's pretty great.
Neon of Battle. Neons of Battle.
Neons of Battle.
Andrea, for Brexit, I like omelets with a lot of fillings and home fries.
You mean chips? Fish and chips?
TK Straight Prince. Remember, folks, show your support and hit that thumbs down. We love them thumbs down. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe and join us. We also have a Discord and Patreon.
Yeah.
I wonder if you're playing StarCraft, Alexis Xcore gave me the idea. So when you pick your color, does the entire Zerg change, or is it just spots on them?
Just spots.
Just spots.
Mm-hmm.
That might be a fun ways to look at the different, I guess, spots. I thought they might be more dramatic.
I don't believe so.
I always play the Terran. Because they're the normal ones.
The Protoss. I kind of went back and forth. Because I was bad at both. I think I like the Zerg the best though.
Yeah, I could make an army. I could make a base. I could make an army. I could gather resources. But as soon as it came to like multitasking, building while in the midst of combat, I just couldn't.
Yep.
I just cannot do it.
I can't either. And that's why we're not professional StarCraft players.
Mm-hmm.
Also because nobody plays the game anymore. that too.
I liked StarCraft 1 because then it was the Terran. It was did they manage to build the deployable cannons or not?
Mm-hmm.
And then you just win because it's impossible. Once you get like 20 deployable cannons just sitting in a spot, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Kyle Transier, hey Eons, is your Necron holding a grapefruit? Yes.
Mm-hmm. An energy grapefruit.
Yeah, it is. Takamuto, why does the Terran Academy in StarCraft 1 make the Howie scream when you click on it? I don't know.
I don't know either.
El Rondro, hey Jay, don't you have some original Space Hulk Gene Stealer sprues with the original 2 arms body all in the same sprue? I do. I have like 6. And they're pretty cool. I've clipped, I think I still have 3 on sprue, and I think I'm going to try to keep them on sprue. I think I might just do something fun and artsy with them. Because they don't really look good. And I already have like 40 Gene Stealers. So I definitely don't need more.
And you don't want to paint more?
No, I don't even want to paint the 40 I have.
Nicholas Cobb, still holding out for new Imperial Guard stuff. Everything else that's come out so far looks really cool. Hope the Guard gets the same treatment.
I'm sure they will one day.
Just not soon.
Dr. Jokal, I think George said Gungas because they may have been the original name for them. Jar Jar's character drew slightly from Gunga Din. Dromari, 2 words, Belcher Necrons. Make all the armies utilize burps of war. Well, no, I think they outlawed chemical warfare.
Yeah. I'm sure they did. Yeah, that makes sense.
DK Serpents. Jay, at the start it looked like you were painting yellow hexagonal on the sphere at the start, and it looked great in bright yellow. Made the sphere look cool. And then did I ruin it? I just kind of painted some random dots.
Well, now it sucks.
Yeah.
So.
It's hard to make a ball interesting. I might go back and do some swirlies or something. Maybe I'll do some passes with some Games Workshop shade or are they called shades? Some Games Workshop, some Nuln Oil shade
Washes.
Some washes to
Wow.
change the colors a little.
Just lost that word.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is 420. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I kind of, well, obviously this model's older, but I like on the monolith, the new monolith, the ball is like is a geometric ball.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool to have something like that on that. So it's
yeah, and actually, I think on all of the new on the new the Chronomancer, the Technomancer, the Cryptex, they all have like more interesting thingies. Like I think they're holding like one of them is holding like a box that's exploding. Obviously, one of them is casting the spell of doom. But yeah, they don't. It seems like the one from the Necron Overlord from Indominus has a Tachyon arrow instead of a Resurrection Orb. So I wonder, if they're just trying to think of ways to avoid a ball.
Yeah.
I guess what can you do with a Resurrection Orb? I guess just an interesting texture.
Balls.
Yeah, I don't really mind the ball. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a ball. Dr. Jokel, imagine the burpee horrors if these guys drank pots of lead belcher instead of burp water.
Mm-hmm.
Alex XCore93, I think a glowing hot orb is more yellow, light orange on the top. Yeah, I mean, I think to make it really glow, to make something really look like it's glowing white hot, you need the contrast of like black. It needs to start black and then get to white. Otherwise, it looks like it's red and then gets white, or it looks yellow and then it gets to white.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you make something like that. Yeah, the reason the fire kind of works on the sword is because it goes from very, very, very dark red to almost white.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so maybe on the orb, I'll go back and try to fix it. I mean, that's the whole point of why their bodies are white, because it's striking.
Mm-hmm.
It's very distinct. You know, all the little nooks and crannies are like black, but then his panels are all white.
Mm-hmm.
Tromari. Also, the minis pose reminds me of the one scene from the Indiana Jones Temple of Doom, Kalima. Oh, when he's got the heart? Yeah, maybe. It totally could be. I mean, Games Workshop has done that before, where they just, like, take a pop culture thing, and I think it's awesome. I think it's hilarious every time they do it. Except for maybe one that you might see in an upcoming video of with a certain old 80s movie and a certain Primaris captain. Yeah.
Just want to get that out there.
Dr. Jokel, I think it would be hilarious if the orb was painted like a baseball. He's looking at it like, I know not what it is, but it shall be our favorite pastime. That would actually be hilarious for Trazing the Infinite, because he collects things, and so he's just holding a baseball.
And I know yesterday we talked about every single orb painted as a basketball.
Yes.
That would be pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
Do people have fun armies anymore?
They pop up. I think they pop up every now and then, like the Buzz Lightyear army.
And the Mario and Luigi.
The Mario and Luigi.
I mean, that was too perfect.
Go back in time a little bit. The Mexicrons and the Hello Kitty Marines.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a certain kind of person to commit to the bit that hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially
and
with
spend hundreds of dollars on the joke.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I don't know if people made real armies or if it was just something some guy was doing. But on Paint Hub, somebody was showing off models, but they would always put on Lego minifigure heads, and people were like, "Stop! It's not funny." And so just double down.
It's pretty funny.
Sometimes the only way to make it funny is to commit to the bit.
You gotta yes and it all the way to the moon.
Mm-hmm. But what if you look silly?
Yeah, I mean, you will. You going into a Games Workshop store or any game store, you're gonna look silly.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to break it to everyone.
No, I think the fedora is really stylish, and the combat boots add a nice touch. Mm-hmm. It makes you look rough and tumble.
Right.
Gives you some nice grit.
Exactly, and the pocket knife you're bringing with too.
Yeah. You know, your glasses that change into sunglasses in the sun.
You know, those are cool, but every person, every dorkiest, most nerdy individual I've ever met has had those.
And the great thing is, like, if you're just out in public, they're almost always in sunglass mode.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be in the dark for them to not be activated.
Mm-hmm. So how many of you guys have sunglasses? We're about to get a bunch of people unsubscribing from us.
Yeah.
They're expensive, I think.
Mm. Is it just like a really very special type of plastic?
It's a special type of glass.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. And I watched a, I think it might have been a How It's Made, or maybe it was like
Ooh.
a chemistry of glass something. And they explained you put some sort of chemical in there.
Mm.
And it detects the UV, and then it changes.
I thought you put sunblock in there.
Yeah.
You know, some SPS 40.
Mm-hmm. Brett S. I had the glasses that changed to sunglasses. It was the 80s. I was 7. But you grew out of it.
I mean, I guess in the far distant future, when we all look like the gray aliens, we'll probably all have those as eyelids to keep our eyes perfectly safe from the sun.
Exactly.
So maybe they're just really way ahead of the curve. Like a million years ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alexis Xcore 93. Whoa, man! I saw some Necrons with hot pink highlights, synthwave style, and it looked awesome. Yeah.
There you have it. Squeezed one out.
Dr. Juggle. To make glass, you actually put the lime in the coconut.
Do you shake it all up after that?
Or you know what? I always thought that it was like when a pair of glasses and a pair of sunglasses love each other very much.
And they just love each other just a little too much.
Tromar, are you excited for the new Demon Prince model Bellacore? It looks unbelievably cool.
Mm-hmm.
But
Are you saying you're not gonna get it because you don't play that army at all?
Yeah, I don't play that army at all. I don't play any chaos, anything.
It's cool.
It's super cool. I can't wait to like see one or see what people do with it. But yeah, I don't think it's out yet.
Takamuto. No glasses like that. I do wear BCGs though. What is that?
Birth control goggles.
Oh, I get it. Let me, does it work?
Elrondoria. Before that, there were clip-ons. Yeah, the clip-on sunglasses.
Mm-hmm.
Well, those were cool.
Right. I also wear a fanny pack.
I mean, who doesn't love a fanny pack? It keeps all your it keeps all it keeps your cash and your lip balm and everything you need right at your waist.
Exactly.
Your sunscreen and.
I had a friend and she had Baby Lips as the brand of lip balm. And I was like, is there something you want to tell us about?
Do we need to call Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC?
Like, what are you doing with this? It's just the brand. I don't know. The police are on their way. You can tell the police if it's just the brand or not.
James Cameron Clark. I've seen Gravis armored Marines painted with gold, painted white with gold helmets, and they look like fighty astronauts. Oh, that sounds about right. That is really cool. Yeah, the Gravis armor, the Inceptors, the ones that fly, they kind of have a weird astronaut dome that they can pull down over their helmet, which is kind of a neat thing. It doesn't look like they've given it to any other units. It might be the idea is that the Hellblasters can carry plasma, and the plasma is maybe so powerful that it can hurt their helmets. I don't know. It's a neat concept. I wouldn't have minded seeing it go to all the Gravis models, but it seems like they kind of decided to just go in favor of normal helmets. Dr. Druckle. My dad had the glasses that darken in the sun in the late 80s, early 90s. He hated them. They would always darken under the woodshop lights, and he couldn't see. He didn't want to pay for new ones.
Yeah, because they're expensive.
Tromari, have you seen the McWog orcs? Is that the McDonald's orcs?
Oh my
That sounds
God.
amazing.
Sounds right up my alley.
5-string Connor. Fanny pack for life, y'all. Just jealous of my stylish utility.
You got that right. You're just a hater.
Kyle McNear, totally not here to get tips since I'm painting for the first time tomorrow and want to get my sisters to look good. Oh, the sisters models are so cool. One day I'll have a sisters army. Or at least way too many sisters models. Mm-hmm. I mean, definitely the war suits that I always forget the name of. Mm-hmm. Okay, I gotta fix the camera.
Who says you don't have them now?
There we go. Ah.
Maybe you have some sisters now. Little secret kill team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I figured out where the rules are published.
Mm-hmm.
Because they didn't exist when Kill Team was made.
Mm-hmm. I think. I mean, they have a battle scribe.
That's true.
So.
I've assembled a Sisters Kill Team in Battle Scribe on camera.
Yeah, I know.
And that may or may not have been the last time I opened Battle Scribe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's
I
pretty,
feel like I have to figure it out.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a
it's a little bit of something. The normal Kill Team pack doesn't have orcs. You have to download more stuff, I guess.
Yeah, you do.
And I don't know. That's how I feel about
It's
it.
like, yeah, it's one whole extra step, but it's like
I mean, yeah, I tried to do it, but it didn't import.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I don't know, and then I gave up and went to bed.
Yeah, it is kind of, it's awkward.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also free, so.
Yeah, I was about to say. I mean, it's also free.
Ooh, YouTube suck bad. Yep, YouTube suck bad. Would you suggest a new minifigure painter to go on a desktop magnifier with LED lights? If it's cheap to buy, would you suggest a new minifigure painter to go with a desktop magnifying with LED light if it's cheap to buy? Yeah, I tried out the glasses and I didn't prefer them. I think I would like a desk mounted one better, a magnifying glass on the arm. I think I would prefer a magnifying glass on the arm that didn't have a lights, but it seems like most of them come with lights. Maybe I just need to buy a magnifying glass and an arm. And then I'll find out that actually one with lights is super helpful.
Yeah, probably. I mean, although, maybe with your new rig that you're working on there,
That's true.
you might not need any more lights.
Gomasso also just started painting. Yeah. This is the new painter stream.
Z42. Love that scheme. Sadly, I missed the other streams. I really want to see how you did the scythe.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I think, unfortunately, a lot of the scythe was done on Patreon. Or on the Patreon-only stream. Some of it might have been done earlier that day, though. It was a Saturday stream. Or no, it was a Friday stream. A patron stream. You could try Friday. The last Friday stream.
And if you look in the description, you can see the playlist of all the past live streams.
Yes.
So if you want to do that, or you can go, if you go to our main channel page and you scroll down a little, you'll see all live streams right there. You can watch any of them. Unless Jay painted that on the Patreon only stream.
Yeah, then you're stuck.
Yeah.
Tromari. I looked up some funny 40k armies and I found an orc giving the finger. I mean, that should just come in every box.
Yeah.
Dr. Joko. I think you can just turn the light off on the desk-mounted magnifier or not plug the batteries in. Yeah, but then it's just a big plastic ring.
The ring light.
Yellow Panzer. Painting Iron Warriors is a pain. Iron Warriors, so you got to do all those hazard stripes. I've done lots of hazard striping on my orcs. Which you could also see in the stream, in the old streams, because I painted up a squad of orcs, orc knobs.
Yeah. There we go. EOB complete. 19th. Brett S. Jay, join a Gene Stealer cult. Grow an extra arm. One can hold the mini. One your brush. One the magnifying lens. Problem solved.
That would solve a lot of problems. I think I'll do just that.
And then one more for chips.
Yeah. And then you know what? One more to press play on the next YouTube video.
Exactly.
Mo Jumbo, is it normal for someone new to 40k and about to paint to be nervous? Every time I say I'm ready, I chicken out and don't start. I guess
it's hard to start sometimes. But you gotta do it.
Yeah, and it'll probably be bad. Your first model probably won't be everything you wanted it to be, but you just keep going, and then eventually it gets better, and then eventually it gets better, and then eventually it gets better. And then all of a sudden you're winning Slayer swords.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think it's the perfection, got to be perfect right away.
Yeah.
All you've seen is beautiful models everywhere. But those people didn't start out with beautiful models.
YouTube sucks bad. I suggest to try cheaper figure first, not related to 40k. That's what I'll do. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I would definitely, though, say don't paint like Green Army Men. Because, like, what happens if you paint, or if you do a really good job? They're going to be like, oh, I wasted all that time painting garbage. Like, you could have at least bought, like, a really cheap figure, like a D&D figure, one of the Whiz Kids from, like, a friendly local game store, or you could have gotten a Reaper miniature. which are, a couple of dollars. And then you'd be like, hey, I have this really cool wizard, and I'll put him on the shelf. And even though I play orcs, and, it'll just be fun to have that model. As opposed to a pile of green army men.
Or you just paint your minis.
Or you just paint your minis.
Because you can just repaint them later if you get better and you don't, you want to do something different with them or whatever.
Yeah, you can put new paint right on top of the old paint. Gee, Keaton, when I have to paint hazard stripes, I put the yellow on first, then use 2 pieces of Tamiya masking tape to paint the black stripes. Yeah, that works. I have some of that, and it's pretty neat stuff. It's like a 1 millimeter thick thing of painter's tape.
Dr. Jokel? Yeah, this is Jay's 164th stream, and he still hasn't gotten any better. So don't fret if your first model isn't perfect. Exactly. Isn't that weird? You've been painting so many days in a row, and, haven't gotten any better whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. I wish my glazing game has gotten better. I mean, it has a little. I guess it's gotten better, but it certainly hasn't gotten much faster. Because I think it's just applying a lot of paint.
Yeah. There you have it.
Mm-hmm. Miguel, quick airbrush question. The tip dries way too much when using inks. Have to clean it after 30 seconds of use. Should I dilute more? Is it the pressure? Tip dry just happens. Every 30 seconds sounds about right, honestly. Sometimes what I do is I just keep a damp brush near me. And, every 30 seconds, I'll just blah, blah, blah. I'll just rub the damp brush on the tip. And that usually knocks off any dry paint.
That's it.
I've also you can also maybe have like a wet sponge and stab it gently into the wet sponge. I've heard of people doing that to knock off the tip dry.
That's it.
Yeah. But yeah, tip dry just happens. Some paints do get it a lot worse than others. Sometimes if you put in some flow improver, it can help just get the paint to flow faster, like so that it doesn't dry up on the tip. Usually smaller tips, like my 0.15 tip in my Harder and Steinbeck Infinity, constant never-ending tip dry. My giant fat 0.4 needle on my my Badger Patriot, it doesn't really tip dry so much as a tip gunks.
It gets gunking.
G. Keaton, by the way, new folks, save your first minis. You'll be glad when you win that golden demon and you can see that progression. Yes! I super wish I had my first models. I have them, but they now have like 3 or 4 new coats of paint on them. I have pictures of some of them, but it would be fun to have like that first crap model. Flimbo the Dude, I've been thinking of making some chaos-themed city terrain with mutations and graffiti, with each district being a different chaos god domain. G. Keaton, needle juice helps with tip dry, but it also is just a fact of airbrush life. Dr. Drokel, stop boasting about your tip size, please. It's not the size, it's how you use it. That's very true.
Yep, that was very triggering. For someone, it seems.
The 0.15 is, or the 0.15 is so much fun though. It's so small. It came with a tip that actually lets me paint like a pen line, which seems completely ridiculous. I guess it's for like if you are doing like a beautiful like painting on paper, you'd want to do that. But it is kind of fun. Although it also clogs so much because there's just so little room for any paint to go through. So there's a little give and take to everything.
I think we're following Iwata on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
and they post on their story tons of people doing like tons of painting stuff.
Yeah.
And they do like people do T-shirts. They do so many great skateboards,
Mm-hmm.
cars, and they post all that stuff, and it's really fun to look at what all these crazy people are doing.
And then we use it to make it look like our toy
Yeah.
soldiers have glowy eyes.
Yeah, they don't show miniatures very often. That's some of the least cool stuff
Yeah.
that people are doing.
And it's very rare that you really paint something only with airbrush. Actually,
Yeah.
do I have it near me? I have a model I painted only with the airbrush. This was in a video. I think it was in the video called I Don't Suck at Airbrushing Anymore.
Yeah.
This librarian was painted 100% with the airbrush.
Yeah.
G. Keaton, y'all right? My Patriot hardly ever tip dries, but it will clog. Takamuto, a moment of silence for all of those who lost their first models to girlfriends, wives, partners of any kind getting rid of their models in various ways.
How dare they?
Corrupt. About to get my first models in 20 days. Your painting videos have helped me prepare, and I have been practicing my painting on plastic army men. Super excited. Nice. Well, that's good. That's good that you're getting excited. Charmari, what are your thoughts on painting, assembling vehicles like tanks, transports, gunships? I never assemble them. I leave them on the sprue in the box.
Corrupt. What army or models are you getting?
G. Keaton, I started putting scraps of pantyhose over my paint bottles. Believe it or not, the clogs went down a lot. Apparently, it was catching little tiny particles that would clog my brush. Yes, I used to strain paint all the time.
El Rondorio, airbrushing murals on the sides of vans. Yep, people do that.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Trickle, that librarian looks like a t-shirt you could have made at a mall kiosk in the 80s.
Takamuto, a true vaporwave model.
Yeah.
I like that his face and the glowy weapon are the same glow.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean that's really, really good for airbrushing.
For only airbrush. And it was the very first time I'd ever used it was one of the very first times I used the Patriot, and it was the very first time I used the .15 needle in my Infinity.
Mm-hmm.
Corrupt. I'm starting with the Elite Edition starter set so I can play with my brother, but am interested in the Imperial Guard.
Ooh. I mean, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
Getting that starter set, and then maybe doing a little Imp Guard after that.
A little Imp Guard.
Mm-hmm.
What did I do differently about this side than that side?
Well, speaking of this side and that side, it is 10 o'clock.
It is.
So you know what that
Huge,
means.
humongous, awesome video coming out tomorrow.
Yes. And we'll be back with another live stream at 9 p.m. Central tomorrow.
Yeah.
Big old video, big old stream.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
End.
Perfect.